That's a nice barrel you got there.
Bonjour everyone, Pantoufleee here today for a new review concerning the E50M, the Tier 10 German medium tank, and one of the greatest tanks you can have in your garage as long as you are a good player. Let me explain to you briefly the characteristics of this tank before we go further into the playstyle. First thing first, concerning the gun, one of the best at Tier 10, great aiming time, great gun dispersion, great DPM, great reload time. Everything is perfect simply because back in the days, the E50M was not the same tank as it's right now. Back in the days, let's say that the E50M had like 7.3 seconds of reload, which makes it kinda lame when it comes to the DPM compared to other mediums. But Wargaming decided to buff it for the best, and now it's an extremely competitive tank on the battlefield. For the average penetration, you still struggle, as you can see, for your average penetration, 245 with your regular and 300 with your heat shell, which is not that much. If you take your chance by switching to gold shell, it's gonna be a little bit better because, as you can see right now, you climb up to 257 and 330 millimeters of penetration using gold. Your average damage, 350, 300 with your gold shell, and 450 with your high explosive. The gun turn limit, and I should say gun depression, which is one of the most interesting part of the tank actually, because you got yourself 8 degrees. Yes, the tank is quite high if you compare with other mediums, therefore even if you have 8 degrees of gun depression, it's gonna feel like 6 on the battlefield, but that's already a nice gesture from Wargaming to put that tank a gun that is quite versatile when it comes to the gun dispersion. Now, for the rest of the tank, the turret turn rate is not necessarily good, let's say average. When it comes to the traverse speed, the tank is average. And the top mobility is great. You will go around 60 kilometers per hour. Don't get fooled by your average speed saying 37. You will go around 60 kilometers most of the time. And trust me, this tank, 60 kilometers per hour, when you have like, if I remember correctly, something like 60 tons, you're gonna be a ram king, let's say it like this. It's a tank made for ramming, which makes it kind of fun in my opinion. Now, how are you equipping your tank? Personally, I like to switch between gun rammer and calibrated shell. It really depends on your RNG and if you're lucky enough to fall on maps where you can penetrate your opponents quite easily. But calibrated shell is overall a better choice. After I go for the enhanced gun lane drive to reduce my aim time, and finally the vertical stabilizer to reduce my aim time even more. I don't need to bother with the refine gun because, as I told you, you already have 0.27 of gun dispersion, so you don't need to decrease it even more. After I go for the defense system, but you could go for an improved module. Improved module is for those of you who are going to ram with the E50M. I'm not a rammer, so I would rather go for the defense system. After I go for the improved assembly to increase my hit points, because you're going to see after in the armor profile section of this video that if you don't use your enhanced armor, or if you use it, it's not going to change too much. After the toolbox, because enhanced strike is useless. Improved optics, because I'm a medium, I'm not going to camp. Engine accelerator, because my mobility is great, so why not increase it just a little bit. And finally, high-end consumable to use adrenaline for a longer period of time when I'm using it. Anyway, now let's take a look at the armor. There we go for the armor profile. We have the traditional weak spot at the front of the tank, which is the lower part of the hull. Your goal is to hide that part as much as possible. If you can, congratulations, you made it. And if you can't, you are going to get penetrated because that part is even angled. It's literally impossible to angle it. Most of the time, you're going to get penetrated by whatever is in front of you. But something that is nice to notice about the E50M is probably the upper part of the hull, which is quite impossible to penetrate for most tanks at tier 10. Unlike a T62A where you can penetrate the tank anywhere you want on the hull, here it's not the case with the E50M, and that makes it a stronger tank. If you manage to hide the lower part of your hull and only show this area, you should be safe because people will bounce. Of course, except if it's an Ori playing with gold shell, here it's going to penetrate quite easily, but it's not going to happen too much. You also have that little cupola here, and even if it seems like a weak spot, it's actually not one because you have 250 raw millimeters of armor, so you should be safe. Now, what is interesting to notice with this tank is probably its armor profile on the turret, the front turret. First thing first, this tank has a huge gun mantlet, so most of the time when you're going to take shots here, if you wiggle just a little bit enough for you to take the shot into the gun mantlet, it's going to bounce without doing any damage. Now, if you don't, you still have 265 millimeters of armor, and I want to show you what happens when you face hug the tank. If I was a T62A, my gun would be around here, okay? And look at this, 270 millimeters of armor when you're face hugging the tank, which makes it impossible to penetrate without using gold shell. And that's one of the main strengths about the E50M on the battlefield. When you are facing in a 101 a T62A, always make sure to face hug him, because if you do, he's gonna struggle without being able to penetrate you. Now, for the rest of the tank, one thing to notice, problem with the E50M is that you need to stay straight in front of your opponents when it comes to the turret, because just turn it a little bit, like 4 degrees on one side, and boom, you become exposed and quite easily penetrable by your opponents. So with this tank, always please make sure to stay straight in front of your opponents with your turret. Now for the 8 degrees of gun depression, it's going to be hard for you to use it in all down. You can still do it. I mean, the tank is versatile. And when you do it, look at this, you become impenetrable here, and on the turret, you actually start to get quite a lot of armor. And that's what makes this tank amazing. You have the mobility, the gun, and the armor. So probably one of the best mediums to play at tier 10. You also have some juicy spaced armor here, even if most of the time people will still shoot at this area. But what is great about this tank is that as you have a lot of armor on your sides as well, you can angle it for you to be able, of course, if you don't over angle it, but if you angle it properly, you can bounce a lot of shells because it's going to be impossible for your opponents to penetrate you. Alright, so concerning the playstyle, as I told you guys, the best way for you to make the best out of the E50M, let's say like this, is probably finding a position from which you are in hold down, and when you're reloading, try to wiggle or come back to a safe position, because when you wiggle, people will, you will increase the chances of your opponents shooting at your gun mantlet. And if they do, your gun mantlet is impenetrable. So free bounces, and that's what we're going to try to do. If there is no way for you to be held down, try to side scrape. As always, it works effectively as well. But if you side scrape, you wait for your opponent to shoot at your hull before you show the rest of your turret, because if you don't, they are going to penetrate you quite easily. Anyway, there we go. They have an E50M as well in the Progetto. I hope that they're not going to stick all together there. Now it seems like they want they went on the other side, didn't they? I'm gonna wait a little bit just for me to know if they went on the other side or not. By the way, when you poke around the corner with the E50M, don't do it like this, because if you do, they're gonna be able to penetrate the lower part of your hull. Do it like this in side scrape. Quick advice before going straight on the battlefield. Alright, they decided to go on the other side. That's some good news for us. That's actually really, really good news. So we're not gonna bother too much. We are gonna try to climb up to them. I'm still gonna circle, because if I go around through the middle, I'm gonna get spotted before finding a good position to shoot from. So instead, I'm gonna circle. I'm gonna lose some time by trying this, but at least, hey, I can sneak some shots. 4, 3, 2. Okay, the E50M doesn't care about me. That's perfect. Okay, is he really like not gonna move at all? Wow. Alright. The guy decided not to move. That's something I can respect. At least it's easy for me to do my damage. Okay, perfect. You know what? We're gonna focus on that E50M. He doesn't seem to know what he's doing, so it's perfect for us. There we go. There is the I7 as well here, but I'm not gonna bother. There we go for a shot on the E50M, and straight away going for a side scrape. As you can see, going for the side scrape, I managed to literally bounce the shell. Unfortunately for me, this one went in the track. Am I gonna focus on the WZ? I could actually focus on the WZ. Yeah, I'm gonna focus on the WZ, guys. I'm gonna shoot, I'm gonna try some crossfire here. It seems like the WZ doesn't really care about me, which is perfect. And as we have the calibrated shell, it allows us to penetrate quite easily the side of this boy. Alright, there we go. We sneak a shot on the E50M, which tries something a little bit stupid here. We managed to perma-track him. Are we gonna be able to kill him? No, not yet. Not yet. There we go. Top damage on that Foch. We're gonna try to side scrape once again. We do. The guy is not shooting. He shot but bounced. We kill him, and now we have to deal with the Progetto. 2, 1, and there we go. Yeah, I over-angled a little bit my side here, which allowed the Progetto to penetrate. But that was overall a pretty good game, let's say, with the E50M to show you the side scrape method. I'm probably going to go for another game just so you know how the tank performs in hold down. I really want to show you that because it's the main replay, so we're going to roll over in another one. Alright boys, let's roll over once again and see if we can put our E50M in hold down position, because that's what works the best, at least in my opinion, with this tank. So there we go. What do we have in front? Object 140, KPZ standard, BT92E1. Okay, usually I would play it on the right side because I'm not comfortable playing on the left. But if I want to show you the hold down playstyle, the best way for me to show you is probably going on the left side. That's where all the hold down positions are located. So there we go. As you can see, we are the heaviest medium here. The heaviest, literally. And still, we are the first one to arrive in position. That's important to know how to equip your tank properly, boys. Okay, there we go. We managed to sneak a shot on the T92E1 thanks to our great gun dispersion. And we also managed not to take the shot, which is more impressive, I should say. There we go, and we go for the hold down. As you can see, I shoot my shot and I come back to a safe position. I'm not trying to stay in front of my opponents just for them to bounce or anything like that. This is bullshit. That's not something you want to do with this tank. Come on, T125 or T57 heavy. Nice. There we go with the T57. Are they gonna try something or not? I don't think so. Not for the moment. As long as they don't try anything, we're safe, boys. We're safe. We're safe. Yeah, they're trying some side scrape. I don't feel like it's the best way to fight us, but still, just go ahead. Do what you have to do. Yeah, I'm trying some gold shell on the side of that boy, but I don't feel like I will make it. So there we go. Let's shoot at the T125. Always staying in all down. Come on, come on, come on. I'm gonna first focus on the T57 heavy. I think not necessarily that it's a bigger threat, but like the thing is the team is not really following us, and they know that. So we gotta move away right now. The T54 is probably gonna die in the process, but hey, that's the price to pay when your team doesn't want to follow you. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. We're gonna sneak a shot on the T30 before going away. And as you can see, as I told you guys, that's something that can happen only with the bad boy the E50M is. Those double bounces we just had right there. Because most of the time, when it comes to bouncing, it's either the E50M or you will bounce nothing. Okay, I feel like I'm in a bad position right now. There is nothing for me on the left. I'm sorry, T54, gotta leave you away. Oh, maybe I'm gonna try to kill the... I'm gonna try to kill the T92E1 maybe before going away from the T54. If I can. Come on. Nah, you know what? No. Bad idea. Bad idea, bad idea, bad idea. Nah, I'm not gonna help the E50M. I'm gonna go back. Sorry, man. I hope you will be able to fly away. But there is nothing for me there. So as you can see, we went for some hold down and it worked effectively. We literally did not get penetrated a single time. And that's because of two things. The first one being the possibility for me to wiggle my turret and therefore not show my gun mantlet. And therefore show my gun mantlet. The second one being me. Perfect. Oh, I'm gonna show you the face hug. Oh, that review is gonna be perfect. There we go for the ramming, boys. And now look at what is gonna happen right now. See the E50M, see how he's blocked, see how he can do shit. Bouncing. Bouncing, boy. Bouncing. That's all that happens. There we go. 1 HP. Are you fucking... yeah, of course. No. Unlucky. Literally, I got unlucky on this one. Rip. Nah, okay. Oh, he's shooting with HE. He's trying something. Okay, we're not gonna bother too much. You have to climb in. You gotta go in, KPZ. You know that you have to go in. I'm gonna try to block you. 3, 2. Can I block him? Come on, guys, kill him. 3. Nice. Alright, good. Ah, man, I was really unlucky. 1 HP with 350 alpha damage. That's a shame, boy. That's a shame. But it's not a problem. It's not a problem. There is still the T125 to go for. The guy is doing... I don't really know what the guy is doing. There we go for a shot. We crawl back. He's reloading. Is he gonna go for a shot on me? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? I'm gonna wait for the Kranwagen to shoot one time. Yeah, there we go. And we kill him. Perfect, perfect. Kind of a dirty mistake on the Object 140, unfortunately for me, but the RNG was not necessarily with me on this one. But that's pretty much how you want to play it. I showed you everything I wanted to show you. Face hug, side scrape, hold down. That's probably one of the best reviews I did about the E50M. I hope you enjoyed, guys. If that's the case, feel free to subscribe, like, and share. And I'm going to see you soon for a new review concerning whatever tank. I don't know yet. See ya.